Ever heard the saying that you either join them or perhaps you also need to cover a certain niche for yourself? So being confident also means that knowing the right way to taking the right path and setting certain goals that you really want to adhere to. In various work settings, you see people and they said, this very gentleman or lady is some way be. If somebody is some way be, or perhaps is perceived to be an isolated figure in a work environment, how do you go about it? Because we know that for every work, there are always politics or the political environment that the individual or the groups within the workplaces also need to deal with. So too it is with a household or the community in which you live in. There are certain things that go on around you, either in your own house or perhaps the community in which you serve, which border on the politics of the time. Not necessarily party politics, but you know, every organization or entity tend to ooze that sort of politics. So you either join them or you carve a certain way, path, or niche for yourself. If you decide to go alone, you know that there will be obstacles. But you need to be strong enough to ensure that the path that you've chosen, you're able to see through. And I hope that you're going to discern between what the politics are in your home, in your workplace, in your community, etc. And you will be yourself and choose a certain path and say, this is what I want to go by. I don't want to toe the status quo and be labeled as ... Well, I hope that we've all taken some lesson from what I'm saying. But if you think you have a lot more to share with us, 056-800,000 is a platform on WhatsApp, and you can always give us a lot more of your thoughts. Or perhaps you can log on to our Facebook page, Joy News on TV, and we can have a lot more of your thoughts as well. But let's start the whole show with an interlude. When we come back, we'll give you a rundown of what our programming is for the morning. And that's the song title Glorious from the One Voice Children's Choir. You can get a lot more of their songs on YouTube, and we have a channel there as well, My Joy Online TV. Please make sure that you go watch many of our uploaded episodes and the other regular programming on the channel. And this one also is dedicated to you, Rebecca Spark. You are in Achim Swedro, and I know that you're wrapping up for your end of term, and I wish you all the best for the day. Now, we know that the incoming MPP government is expected to introduce reforms in the trade and industry sector to drive their industrialization agenda. And we will be exploring that on AM Business because it is a Wednesday, as always. So we've finished with the elections and we need to go on to other regular programming, but also make sure we bring to you what really are the conversations for the times. And these very activities of making sure that we have industrial parks and the establishment of an industrial development fund would also ensure that we have the introduction of tax credits as well as reduction of corporate taxes and some import duties as forming part of the electioneering campaign by the MPP. And so we'll be exploring that on AM Business, and we will be having in the studio the Chief Executive for AGI, Seth Chumakwabwa, alongside Stephen Amwa. He's also a member of the MPP's communication team, and they will do the transition for us to look at young people in politics, as we also have Ernest Nogbe of the NDC also helping us do the discussions. But we will be looking at what is in it for young people in the new government and what also students tend to think about the president-elect, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and his government as he's about to lead. But somewhere in West Africa, we know that we had emissaries from the West African sub-regional group in ECOWAS, and it also included the Nigerian President Buhari as well as Ghana's John Dramani Mahama. They went to the President of the Gambia, who until about a week or two ago had lost election and had conceded. But just about 2 days ago, he said that those elections convened by the Gambian Electoral Commission were fraught with problems, and so would have to be annulled in some respect, or he won't accept those results at all. And we've had excessive pressure being put on him by the international community, including government in the sub-region. But we would want to get an expert view on the subject. And so we're going to have Dr. Vladimir Ntwidanso joining us, and we will be looking at international relations, and he, as an expert, what he thinks about the current phenomenon in which we have the situation pertaining in the Gambia. We'll wrap up with a lot more entertainment, and you can give us a lot more of your thoughts through the number 0560 800,000. But if you think that you also want to log on to our Facebook page, we're streaming there live, and you can give us a lot more of your thoughts. Next, we have to bring you the news. Is up next.